Hello everyone, welcome to the daily analysis for NASDAQ and the SPX to see what's going on today. What do we expect? And of course, we are starting with some red here. We're gonna see what's going on internally. But basically, we are still in a very good shape where we are looking for this leading diagonal towards the upside after having a potential zigzag here formation for wave 1. And basically, we are looking here at a finished a big corrective wave where we have potentially a W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y has finished, of course, as a zigzag in confluence with the targets, of course, of an expanding flat. However, expanding flat should finish, of course, in 5 waves, which is good that it didn't because, of course, one more for 5. That was a call for a recession. And basically, we see, of course, a turnover right now, and we see, of course, a move towards the upside. Internally, we're gonna, of course, check of course, what is going on the 1 hour chart here. So basically, we are looking for this leading diagonal towards the upside, very aggressive one, where we see, of course, a wave 1, 2, and we're looking for a wave 3 between the blue box, of course. Now, yesterday in the daily close, I have mentioned that we have a 1, 2, 3. Potentially, we have to expect a drop down for a wave 4, and we're looking for a wave 5. Continuation toward the upside. We might see, of course, a wave 5 extended, or we simply, well, yeah, we already took the high. So that is already a good confirmation that we have already took the high, and whatever we get here in this area, it would be more than enough just by taking this high right now, would be more than enough to complete an ABC zigzag toward the upside. Whether it's gonna lower the aggressivity of this diagonal or not, it doesn't matter. At the end, we have a leading diagonal. And that means, of course, it is still on the path of a recovery for the market. So that's still, of course, pretty good. And potentially in this correction, we see, of course, an expanding flat where we have a 1, 2, and potentially wave 3 finished over there. You have A, B, and potential double 1, 2, or leading diagonal for wave 1, 3, 4, and a 5. So a little bit more red, of course, and then moving toward the upside. What you don't like to see in this case scenario, for a wave 4 here, you would like to see, of course, let's wave 4 as an impulse. Yeah, so the 0.38 is very close, very, very close. Basically, it can be, of course, a 0.38 for a wave 4, but what you don't like to see is the invalidation of this impulse. So, invalidation of bullish, okay? If we get to this price and interfere with the zone 1, 18K700, that would be an invalidation of this scenario. And that because, of course, you don't like to see the wave 4 interfering with zone 1. Now, let's study just as a quick study for this impulse. A wave 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, potentially wave 3, 4, and a 5 finished impulse. Also interesting, guys. So what if as well that we have 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for your wave 3, and then 4 and a 5 for an impulse. However, it looks like a very straightforward impulse, and what if this is something else, and we are in the formation for a bigger wave 4 in the leading diagonal? Since we took the high, yeah, and that means, of course, yeah, in both case scenario, that this might be still, of course, a leading diagonal, and we might as well be in a wave 4, this one, and that means, of course, the leading diagonal is squeezing a little bit here, which it can, of course, unfold a smaller wave 5, wave 2, and then, yeah, explosion on Monday, potentially, or next week. So basically, in both case scenarios, even if we dive deeper, we might see, of course, a wave 4. Yeah, so we might still be in this leading diagonal, and that because we took the high and we are in a safe area right now. Even if we move towards the downside, This looks impulsive. What I don't like is only the scale of this wave A with the wave C is not matching at all. So therefore, preferably the first scenario, which is a one more high, would be much more preferable. And I'm saying this because, of course, the time required for a wave 4 is so much is so much longer from a wave 2. Yeah, so if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, your wave 4 took so much time in comparison with your wave 2 as alternation. Yeah, it doesn't look really nice. Yeah, and therefore I see a match between the time here, right, between 2 and 4. And therefore I'm trying to understand, maybe this is one impulse finish towards the upside. It still can be, guys, and we can be in a formation, of course, of a big wave 4 here for the leading diagonal. We're gonna get more answers today. Let's check the SPX. Okay, wow, the SPX is working differently than the NASDAQ today. That's interesting. The NASDAQ is moving in red while the SPX is in green and still looking for higher. And that because you did not took the high just a 15-minute ago. So 15 minutes ago, we just took the high, meaning, of course, this is kind of like, can start to be called a leading diagonal wave 3. However, I would like still to see a better shape, of course, for this wave 3. Higher prices are recommended. The blue zone is recommended still. And in case that you have finished A, B, and a C, you would like to see, of course, a wave C with the same scale of your wave A, preferably here. And that because, of course, this high is taken and we should continue a little bit higher. Yeah. Otherwise, this wave C is very, very small. Unless this will transform to something else like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Therefore, a deep wave B to align with NASDAQ. And then moving on Monday again with a wave C toward the upside. Those are the two scenarios that we might have. In case we move down, we might be, of course, in a wave B and then C on Monday, or we continue today directly toward the upside to finish this wave 3. Basically, this is my reading, but it's very weird that NASDAQ and the S&P are not aligning together. Yeah, so we see a drop down for NASDAQ and still looking for lower a little bit, but potentially this is your wave 4 and continuation. And then because anyway, NASDAQ has already passed so far the high, and you already can call this is a finished zigzag towards the upside for wave 3. While the SPX is not really clear yet as the same for NASDAQ. SPX can be, of course, an A, B, and still looking for a wave C. Now, it can be a short wave C, it doesn't matter, but we would like to see a nice formation of 5 waves toward the upside. Even if it is an ending diagonal, that would be fine. So these are the readings. So be careful from this scenario, of course, as well, that it might be, of course, a wave B. Continuation A, B, and a C for a wave B. And then moving towards the upside in the next week. Basically, those are the readings for the daily SPX and NDX. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. And let's see you in the next one. Bye-bye.